Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with Sean. I am a Colorado real estate agent, soon to be real estate investor, and we are here talking about my first sale. In this video, we're going to talk about exactly how I got my first sale within my first month of real estate. So if you're interested and want to know how I did it, please stick with us. Alright guys, so being a new real estate agent is always something that I've kind of been like freaking out about. I've always kind of wanted to know if I was going to be successful in this, how I was going to be successful in it. And number one for sure thing is making sure you have a good brokerage behind you who can help you and guide you through all of the processes. And also just make sure that you are completely equipped with all the tools you're going to need to be successful. My first sale was a sale that I actually got from my SOI, so my sphere of influence. I was super excited when I got my license. Once I got my license, I'd already been talking to a few different brokerages, but there was one person who kind of stayed consistent and like with me just throughout the entire process. He started messaging me kind of my first month or 2 months of getting my schooling, and he was just like, hey, I see you're interested in real estate, because at that time I'd already been in a few Facebook groups and kind of asking questions, trying to get my knowledge already up there, trying to again become more of the investor side of real estate. So when he seen that, he messaged me on Facebook, asked me exactly what I was working on, told him I'm working on getting my real estate license as of now, and that I should be done for the next couple months. A few months later, he messaged me again. He just kind of stayed on top of me and kind of kept checking in with me about my schooling, making sure I was going good, asked me if I had any help, if I had any questions, or if I need any help. And that was great. And I thought that was kind of interesting and different than all the other brokerages that I was kind of talking to or dealing with at the time. So when I got my license, I got on this brokerage and I couldn't be any happier. So very first thing I did when I got my real estate license is I got on with that brokerage, and he tells us right away, like, you are now officially a real estate agent. You should be promoting yourself, marketing yourself, and putting yourself out there right now, right? Start promoting and marketing yourself to the world, because you never know when and who is going to be ready to buy a home. So that's exactly what I did. I immediately got on my social medias, let my family, my friends know I'm officially a licensed broker, and I'm officially a licensed real estate agent, and I'm able to help out. 2 weeks later, a really close friend of mine messaged me and said, hey, I just seen your Facebook post and I had no idea that you were getting your license, but me and my girlfriend actually just spoke to a lender and we're looking to buy a house. Mind blown, right? Like, the fact that that happened was just like super pure luck. Couldn't be more happier that it did happen. I definitely appreciate them and always being there for me. And I definitely recommend, you know, putting yourself out there to your sphere of influence, because you never know who is ready to buy a house. You know, you never know who's going to be ready to the next step, or maybe they just have questions and you're going to be the one to kind of answer those questions and get them into that process and be able to help out some family and friends. So fast forward, I meet up with them a couple days later, and we're just kind of talking like about their current lender they're working with. And they're telling me that they've sent them some information already, but he's not being consistent with them. He hasn't given them a pre-approval letter or anything yet, and he's kind of wishy-washy. So I told them my brokerage actually has a lender kind of in office that we work with directly. She's amazing. She answers lots of questions for me already as a new real estate agent coming in, and she seems super knowledgeable. So immediately I gave her, our lender, I gave her their number. They connected and we were able to get a pre-approval within 2 days. Long as they kind of give her some information that she needed, she got that pre-approval immediately for them, which was awesome. I was able to take them out. We started looking at houses. We got them a pre-approved for $460,000. In today's market, that's kind of like on the lower end of what people want for like their dream home, right? But $460,000 is still a really good budget, and for what they were looking for, we were able to see quite a few houses within that budget. Biggest issue was being able to be competitive in the market that we were looking at, right? Nowadays, if you're a licensed real estate agent or if you've just been paying attention to the market, you know a lot of the houses are currently going up for sale, and then they're selling for over $40,000 over asking, or $20,000 over asking, and it's much harder when you don't have that full cash to be competitive in today's market. And this kind of is another lesson I had to learn as a new real estate agent, is that a lot of times being a real estate agent also means being able to, let your clients confide in you and make sure that they feel comfortable, and being able to kind of talk to them and make them feel comfortable with making this purchase. It's a huge purchase that's going to be impacting them for the rest of their lives. So it's really important that they feel comfortable within that whole process. As we continue to go on with the process, they definitely felt uncomfortable, and they noticed they didn't really have too much money saved at all. Right, so they told me, hey Sean, we really appreciate it, but I think we're gonna go ahead and wait another year, sign another lease, and then give us some time to save some money. Me, being a real estate agent, I'm like freaking out, right? I'm like, no, this is perfect for it to be family and friends. Like, I don't want to be one of those real estate agents who struggles throughout his first year and doesn't get a sale the entire first year. I was really worried that was going to be me. So I immediately called my brokers. And the reason I brought them up at the beginning was because, again, you want to make sure they have strong resources that are able to help you succeed. My brokerage has kind of a mentor hotline, if you will, but it's our CCO hotline, where they have experienced licensed agents who are out in the field doing the job. And you can call this number at any time, and there's going to be someone on the line to answer those questions for you and kind of help you out with that. So I called the number, and I'm speaking to one of the agents. So I'm just telling them, like, hey, like, I have this client I'm working with right now, and they're nervous. They're going to pull back out. I don't really know, what to do about this, if there's anything I can do about it, or if there's anything we can kind of help them, in the process. He says, well, have you looked at the houses after Survivor Tuesday? I'm like, what the heck is Survivor Tuesday? I'm like 3 weeks into this, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what Survivor Tuesday is, right? No clue, like not at all. So he says, Survivor Tuesday is when you are looking at properties that survive through the weekend. As of right now, properties are going on market Thursday and they're off market by Sunday, Monday, right? Like, people are putting in offers like crazy. If you're not putting an offer in throughout the weekend, the house you want most likely will not be there by Monday, right? So my brokerage focuses a lot on Survivor Tuesday homes, basically meaning that they survive through the weekend. They did not like the offers they received through the weekend. So it kind of makes that house less attractive in the market. So you start to kind of look at those houses and call around those agents and figure out what it was, why they did not really pick one, right? So sometimes it's just the client didn't like any of the offers they received. They want to go another weekend. Sometimes it's, oh, well, this property has some damage here or there, and it's on the market for that long because, we didn't receive any offers throughout the weekend. So when that happens, that's great. What that means is that this property is now, they're less likely to get higher offers after surviving throughout that weekend. So it puts my client in a better spot to go in at asking price and potentially get accepted. So exactly what we did. We went back on, I told them, from now on, guys, only send me houses that you look at, you like, that have been on the market for 5 days or longer, right? If it's been on the market for over a week, then that gives us a big chance of looking at these homes. My clients wanted single family home with 3 bedrooms, at least 2 bathrooms, right? That's the kind they really wanted. Again, something that you can always shoot for, and sometimes it's not going to be in like the area they may want or something like that, but you want to kind of give them some of their options and present to them what is out there in their budget, so they can actually kind of get more of a vision of what that looks like. So I was online looking at homes, sending them homes all throughout the week. We found one townhome, which my client legit told me that they did not want a townhome. Don't send them any townhomes. But in my mind, I'm like, this townhome was amazing. It had 3 floors. It had 3 bedrooms upstairs. It had 3 bathrooms. It was perfect, and a perfect amount of space, because my client was also starting his own embroidery company. So he had a big embroidery machine. The basement had all this empty space, so he can use as his office, as well as where he can kind of use as his warehouse for his embroidery business. So I thought it was a perfect home to go take a look at. So one Saturday afternoon, we went, looked at some houses that they had sent me. They really wanted to go see, so we went and looked at those houses. They loved them, they looked great. Some of them they did not like. I told them, hey, I have this one I want to go look at. It is a townhome. So knowing that my client did not want a townhome, I still thought it was a really good opportunity. It was under their budget. It was going for $390, which was solid. Their budget was $400. That's kind of where we wanted to stay, based off of their affordability, how much they could afford kind of on a monthly basis. So we found this townhome. It was $390. I took them to it, said let's just go take a look, let me know what you think. We walked inside and it was beautiful. I'll post the pictures here for you guys to kind of see them with me. It was remodeled. Nothing really needed to be done on the property, but we still went ahead and did an inspection on it. So we called the listing agent. I called the listing agent. I said, hey, this property's been on market for about 2 weeks. I called the listing agent, said, hey, this property's been on market for 2 months. Why is that? What's going on with this property? Why does nobody want it, right? He says, the townhome next door actually flooded and their water actually got into the basement of that townhome. So it had to stay on market because he didn't want to take it off market. So he left it on market the entire time while it was getting fixed, but they couldn't do any showings or anything like that until it was done. Mind you, this is 2 months that the seller is still having to pay that mortgage. They're still having to pay those HOA fees, plus whatever they're paying to go live somewhere else, because at the time it was a completely empty unit. So it was on market for 2 months, just like that, and we had no idea why it was taking them that long. So of course we still wanted an inspection, like that's 100% has to happen. But have you seen the property? The property is brand new, right? It looks really good, remodeled. So that's exactly what we did. We said, okay, hey, we want to go ahead and come in at full asking for this property at $390, but we need this accepted by tonight, right? He calls he called his client, called me back within the hour and told him that he thinks he can get this approved. Go ahead and send him the contract. Typed up the contract, had my client sign it, sent it over. We were under contract that same night. It was super exciting. We had my first sale. I was so glad to have those resources through my brokerage who can tell me about something like, you know, Survivor Tuesday, and things like that. So it was going great. We actually ended up continuing going through this property. We had inspections. When inspections came back, my client was really, you know, he said, look, I didn't even want a townhome to begin with, but this townhome is really nice. I really liked it. He was like, so for all the inspection items on the inspection, we need to ask to get a lot of this stuff fixed. Mind you, it was small things. It was like hand railings that needed to be tightened. There was like a small leak from the dishwasher, wanted that fixed. And there was also a couple other things, but ultimately we said, hey, we need all these things fixed, right? So I sent it back to the listing agent and said, hey, these are things we need fixed. Mind you, this property's already been on the market for 2 months, right? So they're not wanting to fall out of contract with us over these inspection items. So they stay with us, and he goes up to his client. His client says, yeah, we'll fix these things. There's 2 things on them that I don't feel like you know, fixing. So I'll also issue a $1,500 credit for those. So that was awesome. So after everything was said and done, my client actually, he used CHFA for down payment assistance. If you don't know what CHFA is, call me, we can talk about it. But basically, it helps you out with your down payment assistance. So he put down initially $5,000. CHFA ended up paying a lot of that into it. So he ended up actually with the credit that the seller was actually willing to give, he actually ended up walking away with a house and a $1,500 check after the closing was done. So he was really solid. After CHFA kind of jumped in, we were able to get a seller's credit for the $1,500. He got a check and a home. and it just worked out really well for him. So I definitely recommend putting yourself out there to your sphere of influence, but keeping in mind that there's different ways and different techniques to get somebody into a home. People who feel like they're not ready for a home don't understand these techniques and these processes that we as real estate agents can kind of help them understand and kind of jump into it. In today's market, in order for me to get any type of seller concessions, which is that seller's credit we talked about, was crazy. My brokerage, I had a few people who I talked to there, and they're like, wow, like seller concession in today's market, like that's outrageous, right? So unheard of. So for me, being a new agent coming in within my first month, getting up my first sale for $390, I was able to get seller concessions to help them buy their house towards their down payment. They walked away with a $1,500 check. It worked out perfectly for them. So I can't explain to you guys how much I recommend doing that and kind of working through those processes and reaching out and asking more experienced agents, you know, what can you do? A lot of people don't know they have these options out there, but it's there, and there's sellers who are wanting to just get out of those houses and out of those mortgages, and they just don't want the property anymore, and they'll offer you money to take the house off of their hands. It's a win-win. It's a win-win for everybody. So highly recommend continue to look at those properties and help your clients get their first home, especially those first-time home buyers who are out here struggling, competing with those cash offers, competing with conventional loans if they're coming in with FHA. It's really important that they understand their options are still there, and it's something that I am more than happy to continue pushing and continue calling random listing agents, asking them, why is this property still on the market? We want it today. Thanks everybody for watching my video today. I know it was kind of a lot of information. If you feel like you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow me on all my social media platforms. They'll be down in the bio. I appreciate you coming and watching.